I know the weight that makes your soul seek refuge in darkness. I feel the profound exhaustion that your lips no longer have the strength to confess. When the world falls silent and the shadows of dawn grow, the illusion of abandonment tries to suffocate your faith. But something extraordinary and sacred is happening while you cry without making a sound. There is a divinely particular message being whispered to you this very night. For even when anguish tries to deafen your hope, your God continues to care for your story and weave your victory in the most absolute silence. Why do the heavens seem silent precisely when you most plead for a miracle? I will reveal to you the mystery that is being forged in your life while your exhausted mind tries to find a way out. Remember the foundations of my word, where the greatest deliverances were born in the stillness of the night, when insurmountable seas opened before the hearts that trusted. If you remain attentive to my voice until the end of this revelation, the veil of fear will be torn and your spiritual vision will be completely restored. If this word begins to warm the cold that has taken hold of your heart, share your earthly refuge with me. Write below as a testament that our spirits have met what your name is, from what country, state, and city your soul listens to me now, and what time marks this sacred encounter. And may a cry of love arise from the depths of your being, a sincere outpouring from one who has found a dwelling place, writing, Lord my God, I am here. I have registered because I love you and deeply want to hear you. Seal this encounter by liking it, confirm your registration, and ring the bell so that my promises may reach you every day. Remain sheltered in my presence until the last drop of this oil, for I will deliver a crystal-clear answer to your pain. A single phrase of celestial power will be whispered to your heart in the final moment, and all who declare it and write it in the comments will receive prophetic blessings released upon their days. My silence has never been absence. It is merely the sound of my tireless work on your behalf. A tremendous battle is being won in the heavenly places right now, but you need to discover the unshakable door I am about to open. He shares this truth as an act of mercy with that life that also cries out in secret. And before we move forward into the desert, answer me in your heart. What does your heart most fear losing while waiting for me to act? Seal your commitment to peace by commenting on our word of faith for this moment. Shelter. I feel the pain you hold in your chest when weariness overwhelms your being. You lay your head down and your mind won't stop, worries scream, and the feeling is that you are fighting completely alone against an invisible storm. Fear tries to whisper to your spirit that your prayers haven't reached the ceiling of your room, that your muffled cries were in vain. But I see every hidden wound of your soul. I collect every tear that the world doesn't see. For it is written in my word in the book of Daniel chapter 10 that from the first day you set your heart to seek my help, your words were heard. You do not see with your mortal eyes, but at the very moment your voice fails, supreme orders are given in heaven on your behalf. Heavenly armies are undoing the bonds of wickedness that tried to hold your feet. The war you no longer have the strength to fight, I am winning for you in the heavenly realms. Whenever exhaustion tries to steal your faith, remember that my rest is your strongest armor. I do not demand that you be invulnerable every day. I only ask that you leave the weight of your weakness in my hands. A profound healing is being poured over your most bitter memories at this very moment, but there is a sacred limit to your suffering. An insurmountable barrier I have erected to protect your heart, and you need to understand how to access this ultimate rest before the next wave of despair tries to reach you. If you feel I am lightening your burden now, transform your gratitude into a like in this encounter, as one who accepts the relief that descends from above. Enroll your life in this channel of daily purpose, for I want to walk beside you in each new dawn. Send this message to that life that also needs to know that it doesn't fight alone, as a true act of spiritual love. And before we proceed, tell me with your deepest sincerity, what keeps you awake at night during the longest nights? Declare your trust by sharing your pain in the comments with our word of faith, Shield. I know the storm that rages within your mind when the silence of the house settles. Your physical body begs for rest, but your thoughts race, reliving past pains and anticipating tomorrow's fears with a suffocating intensity. It's an exhaustion that isn't resolved simply by closing your eyes, for it is your spirit that desperately cries out for a truce, I feel the immense weight of this invisible burden you try to carry alone, striving to be the fortress of everyone around you, while your own structure secretly cries out for help. I did not create you to bear the weight of tomorrow on your shoulders. For it is written in the sacred scriptures, in Psalm 91, that he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I am your unshakable refuge. When anxiety tries to steal your peace, I invite you to enter this spiritual refuge. Surrender to me now the worries that your hands cannot resolve. True rest is not the absence of storms outside, but the absolute certainty that I govern the winds and hold the helm of your story. Feel my presence calming your breath at this moment. It is an embrace that envelops your soul, silencing all the deceitful voices that whisper that you will not endure. I am replacing your fear with a serenity that transcends human understanding. Let my peace wash over your mind. However, for this heavenly rest to be permanent, there is a seed planted amidst your pain that needs your attention. Something is germinating in your tearful nights that is about to change the course of your days, but you need to understand how not to hinder this miracle that has already begun to sprout in the darkness. If my invisible embrace has brought any relief to your weary mind, confirm your love by liking this message of comfort. Enroll your soul in this purpose of faith so that my voice may serve as your pillow on the most difficult nights. Share this balm with that friend who also spends sleepless nights fighting against her own thoughts. And before we discover what is being born from your pain, answer from the depths of your being. What is the burden you can no longer bear alone? Seal your surrender in the comments with our word of reflection for this moment. Rest. I see every drop of pain that runs down your soul when you feel that your struggles have been in vain. You look back at the time that has passed, at the deliveries you've made, and at the dreams that seem to have been left unfinished, and a deep sadness tries to convince your heart that all your effort was in vain. The world around you has taught you that pain is only loss and blind suffering, but I assure you that, in the realm of the Spirit, none of your tears fell to earth without an eternal purpose. For it is written in my sacred words, in the book of Psalms 126, that those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy. Every time you bowed your soul before me and wept in the seclusion of your room, in the deafening solitude of the early morning, you were not merely suffering, you were watering dry land. The tears you shed for your disappointments, for your family and for your secret fears, are the very waters that are now softening the hard soil of your story, so that your miracle may finally sprout. I transform your deepest anguish into fertilizer for a new time. What you call the end, I call planting. Feel my hand now wiping your face and giving you the absolute certainty that the harvest of your joy is much closer than your natural eyes can see. But there is a silent adversary trying to uproot that seed before it blossoms. There is a cruel lie of fear lurking in your mind, wanting to make you give up right now, on the eve of your greatest spiritual victory, and you urgently need to learn to block that voice, so you don't lose the reward I have already prepared for you. If this promise of joy begins to dry your tears, leave your like on this message as a sign that you believe in your harvest. Join your path to mine, inscribing your life in this refuge of faith, so that I may continue to water your heart with each new dawn. Send this word of hope to that person you know is crying in secret, for they too need to discover that their pain has a greater purpose. And now, reveal to me in the silence of your heart. What do you most desire to reap after so long crying? Seal your hope by surrendering your heart in the comments with our word of faith for this moment. Seed. I know the generosity that dwells in your spirit, even when your own desert seems long and exhausting. You are one of those who shares the little water you have, even when your own throat cries out for thirst. It is because I know the beauty of your soul that I now call you to a movement of faith and sowing, not out of a burden of obligation, but as a genuine outpouring of your love. If it is possible for your days, and only if there is peace within you for it, transform your gratitude for the comfort you have received into a true seed of love for this work. Consider my immense love and the precious sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and support this sacred purpose using the link I have prepared for you in the description of this video and also in the first pinned comment. There, you will find the fertile ground where your contribution of affection can be deposited and entirely consecrated before me, your God and Creator of all things. You can give any amount, always keeping this in mind. Give only what fits joyfully and lightly in your heart. I receive each gesture with immeasurable love, for it is not the quantity that attracts my eyes, but the sincerity of your giving. What seems small and humble in your hands becomes gigantic and overflowing for the lives reached through this channel. And for you, my daughter, who sows with any amount and with a pure heart, I ask that you do not forget to write your name and your city next to your loving offering. I absolutely insist that, on the first day of the month that begins in a unique and profoundly special meeting here in our house, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name be remembered. It will be mentioned before the heavens in the form of a powerful prayer of thanksgiving for your life. For it is written, "Give, and it will be given to you." A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Every offering made in absolute faith is a precious seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in your house. I see your movement in secret, and I reward your faithfulness in the sight of all, making your desert sprout. Remain with me until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. I hear the lies that fear whispers in your ear when weariness overwhelms you. It tries to convince you that this desert will be your end, that your prayers have been lost in the void, and that I have strayed from your path. It is a cold voice that takes advantage of your sleepless nights to paint a future of defeat, making your chest tighten with anguish. I know this invisible battle, so I feel the hidden despair when you try to block out these cruel images that try to steal your peace and erase your identity as a beloved daughter. But today, I come as an absolute shield for your mind. For it is written in my word, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, that I strengthen you, help you, and uphold you with my righteous right hand. Therefore do not fear or be dismayed when terror tries to paralyze your steps and loneliness makes you feel completely helpless before life. I am the insurmountable wall that rises around your thoughts. I block every arrow of doubt and rejection that tries to pierce your faith at this very moment. Feel the weight of this anxiety falling to the ground, being completely replaced by a celestial shield that no evil can break. I am clothing your spirit with a boldness and peace that you didn't even know you possessed. However, for your faith to remain unshakable when the voices of the world try to shout again tomorrow, your heart needs to be anchored in constant companionship. There is a haven of intimacy that I have prepared to be your perfect companion at each dawn, ensuring that fear finds no more space in your home. There is a secret of constancy that is about to be delivered into your hands. If you feel my armor enveloping your soul now, give this message a like as a sign that you accept my protection. I invite you to inscribe your path alongside mine on this channel, so that my love may always be your first daily defense. Share this truth of strength with that loved one who is being suffocated by fear at this very moment and needs my intervention. And before I reveal the continuous companionship I have prepared for you, answer me from heart to heart. What is the most painful fear that tries to haunt your peace? Seal your victory in the comments with our word of courage for this moment. Fortitude. I know the texture of the silence that invades your room as dawn approaches. I welcome every tear you hide from the world and understand the profound weariness you carry as you try to start anew, with your own strength, every morning. When loneliness tries to convince you that no one is watching over your sleep, it is precisely in that moment of fragility that my care becomes strongest, like a father who sits close to calm the anxious breathing of his beloved daughter. For it is written, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path." I desire that my presence be a constant light in your dark days, and not just a fleeting relief. If your heart feels the deep desire to go even deeper into this intimacy with me, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, which I wrote with immense love and affection for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to accompany you day after day in absolute silence and intimacy, serving as an embrace for your exhausted soul. Access to this daily balm is also available via the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. and listen to me tenderly. If today is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself in any way. Remain with me here because I will also continue to lovingly support you with this message. And so that your heart may rest in perfect peace and not be confused, know that after you register, access will arrive securely in the email you provided, containing all the correct instructions, step by step, for you to begin being cared for by me through those pages. Breathe in my love now. Release this useless weight from your shoulders. Continue to walk in hope and trust in me, because the night is already ending, and you need to be ready to hear what I will still reveal about the promise that is approaching. I perceive the fragility of your hope as the days drag on, and your heart questions whether your pleas have been forgotten in the wind. There is a painful urgency that tightens your chest, a feeling that time is passing and your miracle has been lost along the way. Your soul thirsts for an invisible but real sign, a sign that I have not abandoned you in this valley of uncertainty, but I assure you, with the authority of one who governs eternity, that none of your prayers have returned empty to my ears. For it is written in the foundations of my promise, in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, that if you call upon me, I will answer you and tell you great and hidden things that you do not know. Apply this truth to that recent night when you could only sob, unable to form a single comprehensible sentence because of the depth of your pain. In that very moment of silent despair, your answer was dispatched from my throne. What you are experiencing now is not the delay of my love, but the meticulous preparation of the stage where your miracle will be irreversibly planted so that no one can take off. I am already aligning hearts and moving the heavy stones that prevented your free walk. There is an answer on the way, carrying a restitution so powerful that it will wipe from your memory the weight of the days of humiliation. Feel my breath of life invigorating your patience at this very moment. But your spirit needs to be perfectly aligned, because the night always seems darkest and coldest just before sunrise, and you must be ready for the great turning point that the next few hours will bring to your story. If your soul feels the relief of knowing that your answer is alive and on its way, seal this moment by liking this message of comfort. I invite your heart to subscribe to this daily refuge of faith, allowing my voice to continue to guide you through each step of this journey. Share this divine certainty with someone you know who is also almost giving up on waiting for my action. And now, confide in me in our intimacy. What is the great hidden wonder that your heart begs me to deliver to you? Consolidate your waiting in the comments with our word of unwavering faith for this moment. Answer. I feel the trembling of your soul when the long night of trial seems endless. You have already spent all your words in prayer, and now only a tired sigh remains in your chest. The darkness of your uncertainties tried to convince you that your pain would be permanent, that you would live forever imprisoned in this cycle of sadness, rejection, and stubbornly closed doors. But I reveal to you that the densest and most frightening darkness of your life is only happening because the sun of my righteousness is seconds away from breaking through your horizon. For it is written in my word in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Remember those agonizing dawns when you felt you had no more physical and emotional strength to get out of bed, when sadness weighed like lead on your spirit. I was right there, collecting your bitter tears and preparing the splendid setting for your great victory. What you are experiencing now are the final moments of your night of mourning. My dawn is already breaking over your story, dissipating every shadow of doubt and fear that tried to paralyze your journey. Feel the first rays of my glory warming your exhausted heart at this moment. I decree with love and sovereignty that the time of humiliation, scarcity, and lonely weeping has come to an end. The bitter and murky waters of your desert are being transformed into crystal-clear springs of life and refreshment. Your honorable mourning has finally begun. However, so that you may walk freely under the full light of this new time and never again stumble on the remnants of the past, there is one last spiritual key that I need to place deeply in your hands. The secret of your lasting peace will be revealed in our final breath of intimacy. If you already feel the warmth of this new dawn warming and restoring your faith, give this message your like, opening the windows of your soul to receive the light. Make our meeting your daily altar of comfort, confirming your registration, so that my promises may awaken you every day with hope. Be an instrument of healing, sending this word of relief to those who still weep, lost in the darkness. And before receiving your final guidance, open your heart and tell me, what is the deep anguish that my light needs to banish definitively from your life today? Seal your liberation in the comments by declaring our word of faith for this moment. Dawn. I behold the peace that now begins to fill the space where constant fear once dwelt in your heart. Our journey here was not a mere accident of time, but a sacred encounter, marked by eternity, to quell once and for all the open wounds of your weary soul. You entered this moment carrying the weight of a long night of tears and uncertainties, but I enveloped you with my nurturing silence, blocked the lies of dread with my protective shield, and revealed to you that your desert was always in truth a soil prepared for the planting of your greatest miracle. For it is written in my word, in the book of John chapter 14, that I leave you peace, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. This is the absolute prophetic certainty that I plant in the center of your existence today. You have not been forgotten. You have been and are carefully molded, protected, and loved. The profound weariness you feel today is proof that you have borne the weight of the world for too long. But from this dawn onward, I am the one who carries your life and your struggles. Let my celestial peace govern your decisions, and my voice be the unerring compass for your next steps. At the beginning of our intimate encounter, I promised to deliver a crystalline spiritual key to whoever remained in my embrace until the very last moment, a definitive and powerful answer to silence the anguish of your soul. Incline the ears of your spirit now, for I whisper this unshakable truth within your heart to seal your victory. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Write this exact sacred phrase right now in the comments as a powerful act of faith, of absolute surrender, and as your undeniable answer to the heavens that you accept my power working and transforming your weakness. And do not allow your soul to grow cold or despair when the winds of trouble blow again outside. There are even deeper mysteries and revelations of immense love that I wish to whisper into your spirit, grand promises that I will yet unveil concerning your future, your peace, and your home. Continue walking faithfully with me, resting your mind and listening to the continuous sequence of messages on the list I have prepared especially for you on this channel. For in each one, my forgiveness, my comfort, and my divine guidance await you to heal a new part of your wounded heart. Go in perfect peace, my beloved daughter. Your lonely night is over, and my light now guides you.